Hi, so I'm Katie and I live in a town called Buckie on the northeast coast of Scotland, and I work in the Murray area. For YogaBellies, my life was teaching dancing full-time in the central belt of Scotland. I really loved my work and I really enjoyed it. But after the birth of my twin sons, I found that I was looking for something a little bit different, and the sort of challenges that I faced during the pregnancy and afterwards, physically and mentally, really led me to look for something different. And that's when I really found the training that I was actually after was YogaBellies. So I'm so happy that I found it. I started my YogaBellies journey in March this year, 2022. And since then, I really can't believe how much it's built up. I've absolutely loved it. So currently I'm teaching 7 weekly classes between here in Buckie and also in Elgin as well, which is half an hour away. I'm teaching, I should say I'm currently teaching YogaBellies for pregnancy, nurture, YogaBellies for mum and baby, and I most recently started Luna as well. And I am away to launch Core Play very soon, and also online classes. So I'm super excited about that. In my online classes, I have a lot of clients that sometimes they've been not been able to come along or anything like that and feel like they're missed in the class. And I wanted to trial it first. So just basically filming the class and thought that I could send it across to them if they were off. And one of the times it was a lady that was pretty much at her due date, so she wasn't able to come into the class, but she fancied joining in. So she was the first person to sort of trial it from Zoom at home, and her feedback made me decide, like, definitely I want to go ahead, because she said it was really relaxing in our house and she had her pajamas on and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to it. And also I've had a lot of inquiries over the last 6 months, people asking me about classes in their area. So at the moment, I'm only teaching between these 2 areas, and it's something that I really have had a lot of interest in. So I thought, why not to try it? And then it means that people could join in from anywhere, really. My life's changed a lot compared to before what I was doing, because now that I'm running my own business, I'm setting the times that works for me and around my family. And before, I really loved my job, but the times that I was teaching was sort of like after school times, and it was fitting around the kids being at school, then teaching them. And it seemed to, I really enjoyed it at the time before I had my own family. And now I've got my twins, I've changed things around to suit better for them and also the times. So now I'm actually doing a lot less classes than I was before, but making it work a lot better for me. So now, and even I've adjusted it as well. So when I first started the classes in March, they were actually in nursery. And then after the summer, they've gone into primary 1. So all I did was I just adjusted the start times of my classes. So I found that I can be a lot more flexible around my own, what needs done. So that's been a lot better. I came across YogaBellies for the very first time, watching you on Dragon's Den. I do have the memory of watching it and thinking, wow, like that looks really good. Like, I wish that there was something like that in dancing. That's what I was thinking at the time, because at that point in my life, it wasn't, that's what I was doing, and yoga hadn't really crossed my mind at that time. Although I've actually been, now that I've done the training, I've kind of been aware that I have been doing my own version of yoga, like for about 20 years. And a lot of the sort of stretches and things I would have been teaching with different names and just been different with the breathing and stuff. And then when I've come across it and like learned the proper like breathing techniques, the names and everything, I think I've realized that I've actually always been really interested in yoga. I just wasn't sure, I wasn't aware that that's actually what I was doing. During the pregnancy, I found it really hard with twin pregnancy, and towards the end I was really immobile, and I really lacked sort of any support in terms of sort of fitness and things. And I actually went swimming every single day up until as long as I could. I had the really bad pelvic girdle pain, so it meant that my swimming was stopped. And a lot of the sort of advice that I was getting, I had to travel around to a consultant, twin consultant, also midwife, but everything was in a very different areas. So I was kind of commuting around to these things. But I didn't meet like any sort of like mom friends or any other pregnant ladies or anything like that, because I was very much like, looking back now, some things it was quite negative, like, oh no, you're having twins, so you just go along to this on your own and this festive, or I'll come and see you separately because this is for this. And straight away, in my very first scan, I was told, like, you will need a C-section, you have placenta previa, this type of thing. So I think from the get-go, there was a lot of things that was kind of almost worrying in my mind, and I wasn't really in any sort of circle of other ladies to discuss this. Nobody else that was pregnant at the time, certainly not other twin pregnancies. And it just, there was a lot of other things as well, like you will need a section. So if you go into labour, you must get to hospital, like urgently. I think the sort of like language around it that was used as well, looking back now compared to what I've learned through the course and what I'm teaching in the classes, it's very different. So I realised that I kind of lacked that support network. And then postnatally as well, physically there I had a few issues, eventually needed to get 2 operations and a full muscle repair for diastasis recti that wasn't really picked up on straight away, and I didn't get the operation until the boys were 2, and it was quite a lengthy recovery from that as well. And I kept looking for safe exercises to do, and I really found that even seeing a physio and things, there was some things that I could do, but it was more like online, just myself, or I didn't really have that network of friends that we could discuss, we've been through the same thing, or has anyone else had this, or and that kind of stuff. Absolutely. And I think that's why the circle part of the class is so important. And even with all the groups that I've done, I actually love it. Like even from a very first block of pregnancy ladies that I did in March, they're still in the group chat and I've still got it all. And those ladies all came along together to nurture once the next block started for that. And some of them now are in the postnatal class as well. So it's been really nice that they've made friends within the group and that support circle. And then because there's been different ladies that's joined in at different times, and some of them are in the same group chat, and then it's time when they've moved into the next one, and then they've still seen them and stuff. So it's been really nice. It's so heartwarming. Even today I was teaching a nurture class this morning, and one of the ladies has actually invited me to our daughter's baptism at the weekend. I was really I said to her today, thank you very much for inviting me, and she said, well, I feel like you've been a really big part of the pregnancy, so that's why I've invited you along. So I thought that was really nice. Well, yes, definitely, because I'd never done sort of yoga training, I did wonder when I seen the training being advertised, I was maybe worried that everyone that would be joining it had already done that part and they were just adding on. So that was a concern, but I really found that following everything and doing all the extra stuff, I really just spent so much time, apart from the assignments and assessments that we did, basically just breathe, eat, sleep yoga. I was like listening to it non-stop when I was listening to your podcast, when I was walking, just doing everything, downloading apps to help me learn like all the terminology and things like that. But it actually worked out. It couldn't have worked out better time-wise in our life, because we decided to move from the Central Belt after being away from our hometown for 17 years. So everything kind of like fell into place. We sold the house, we decided to move here, and then I signed up for the course. So I'd actually just left my job, so I focused solely on the course for the whole time. Whilst our house was being built, we were staying at my parents' house, and then we got the key in the December, and I finished the course in the January. So it just all worked out perfectly. honestly really preferred it online, and I think more so now that I have been kind of doing the classes for a while, because I am referring back to those videos like almost every day, sometimes every day. I'm referring back, and it's sometimes you can hear something and then it's maybe the second time that you listen to a video or something and you pick up something differently, or you've been teaching it yourself in the class and you think, oh, what's another way that I could actually say that? So I've been going back and watching things again, rereading, and I found it actually having those videos as like a lifetime resource is just amazing, really, because compared to other things that I've done in the past when you're learning it in person, which is amazing as well, but then if you're anything like me, you can forget. So it's good to have the video to go back and just for your own confidence as well, to make sure that you know exactly what you're saying and things like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what would you say excites you most about your work? What do you love the most about it, Katieanne?
I honestly have just loved every single class that I've done. And when I first started it, I kind of thought, right, I'm going to try a few different styles because I thought maybe I'll be better at teaching one style, or this might be more in demand or whatever. But I've actually ended up being like so busy because I've taken on a lot. And now it's kind of like, oh, if I try to scale back anything, oh, these classes are going really well. So I can't believe how much I've enjoyed like every single style. And I think every style has been really different in different ways. So like, for example, the pregnancy class, the moms, some of them are getting tired or they might aches and pains and stuff, and I'm really trying to help them with that. So if I get feedback from them that, oh, this has really helped, or I'm getting a better sleep and everything, that's really great. I'm really chuffed for them. And then when it comes to the baby classes, then the mums come in and they're so chuffed to show off the baby, and they're so proud and they're so happy. And when you meet them, they're pram and everything, they're just beaming. So it's so rewarding. And even like getting the news of the babies as well, that's some of the exciting. All the moms have pretty much let me know when the baby's here and stuff, and we're in the group chat and everybody's congratulating them. And then the moms that are still in the class, then it's more real for them, and it's just so exciting. Absolutely. I think as well, because I felt so passionately about the things that I went through personally, I'm so genuine when I'm delivering it to the class, and the feedback that I've got from my clients shows that they can see that I'm genuine in what I'm saying. I really believe in it. So I do put a lot of work into the classes, like the setting up and all that, but it's because I really do believe in what I'm doing and I really want to help them. So it's not just like, oh, right, okay, I've got a class and I'm trying to fill it with this amount of people. It's not like that at all. And I think that can show to people. I am actually a way to collaborate with a lady, Angela, who is very talented, and she's from Angela A Complementary Therapies, and she's really known for all sort of like foot whispering and reflexology and things like that. She does a lot of prenatal massage and treatments and holistic therapies. So we're actually collaborating together on a mum and baby mini retreat at the end of November. We're really excited about that because straight away I had loads of bookings come in the second that I put it online, and a lot of the ladies that have kind of just finished their pregnancy blocks, some of them are still, some of them have only got a couple of weeks to go, and some have just newly had their babies, and a lot of them were all booking up before baby was here and stuff. So they're all excited, and some of them are meeting with others that had kind of travelled through for the pregnancy class, and they haven't been along to a baby class or anything yet, so they'll get to meet up with them again as well. So we're super excited for that. But through my Facebook, I've got an event on there. It's Nurture Mum and Baby Mini Retreat, and it's also on my website as well and my teachers page. The most exciting thing, the most interesting
or most surprising.
The most surprising thing. So when I first started the classes, I kind of in my mind just thought, I'm going to start with pregnancy and everything, because that was my mindset why I wanted to do the course and all that kind of thing. And I didn't really think at first that I was going to go for the sort of like Luna and core play type thing. And I was very much concentrating on the pregnancy and mum and baby and everything. And then I started getting a few mums that were coming along saying, oh, maybe next week, is it okay if I come along without my baby and stuff? And I was thinking, oh, like, well, you could, but then I was thinking, well, maybe actually I should do the Luna. And I also had like some family members and friends saying, when are you going to do a ladies class just for us, not for to be pregnant? So it wasn't something that at first I thought I'm going to go for, but I kind of thought I was swayed towards it, and I thought, right, okay, I'm going to try. And then there are other people like around the area and everything doing yoga and stuff, whereas with the other stuff, pregnancy started off, I am the only one in this area kind of doing it. So I wasn't expecting it to be as popular, but as soon as I sort of put the bookings out for Luna, it was like sold out straight away. And the feedback I've got from that one's been so exciting that the ladies are really enjoying it. And then when I mentioned the sort of like videos or online classes for that as well, a lot of people said that they were really interested, and that kind of surprised me as well. I'm not sure why. Maybe just because I thought, I think what I've really enjoyed about the Luna class as well, I found that it was actually a shift, because I'd been concentrating so much on the pregnancy and the postnatal. And I think in my mind, I'm constantly thinking, right, okay, this lady's got pelvic girdle pain, blah, blah, blah for this. And then all the different modifications and obviously everything wise that you've got to know confidently for pregnancy and postnatally as well. So I've got all of that running all the time without being aware that I was doing that. And then when it's Luna, obviously you do have the modifications as well, but it's very different. And I felt like it was a much more free type of class, and I could be a lot more creative as well with even the meditation and different ways to do it. So it was kind of a breath of fresh air teaching that class. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm really excited to launch as well. I did have quite a lot of people sort of wanting to try the core play before, but I had to postpone it a wee bit with just being so busy. And then we've got the Bali retreat coming up that I can't wait. So I'm kind of waiting for after that for some of my new things. I would say to absolutely go for it. And a lot of this stuff as well, you are working at your own pace. So when I was in the course, there were some ladies that were working like full time on their other jobs and stuff, and with families and everything, and they were just joining in as much as they could and going through it in their own time. And then if something happens and you can't make the live, then it's recorded for you. So was a bit of flexibility there, so not to worry thinking, oh, I don't have time, or and just to really be open to it. Like if somebody had told me at this time last year that I would be at this stage already, I would never have believed it, honestly, because during the course, like, I'm not going to lie, I did get quite overwhelmed at times because there's so much information, and I'm a bit of a as well, so I never wanted to like move on to the next module without making sure I knew exactly. Although I was like reassured, like, remember, you can come back to this, there's so much information and so on, but I did feel overwhelmed at times. However, it's not been the case since I've finished the course, and I have felt so much more calm, like looking through everything. You can look at it every day, like there's so much information that you can still keep soaking up long after the course. So just not too worried thinking, oh, it's too much, or I can't learn this all, and things like that. I would like to try in different areas as well, but maybe more like the sort of like workshops, mini retreats, that type of idea. I think that's what I would really like to do. So I have my website and everything up and running, and I'm hoping to launch like little mini courses in there as well. So almost like, say, pre-recorded like Luna classes or pregnancy classes, that type of thing. And I'm also starting to offer one-to-one sessions as well. So I think I'd like to work with clients that way, and also via Zoom as well. And I would like to do events and mini retreats out with Murray. So who knows, the sky is the limit. Just that, thank you so much, Cheryl, because honestly, my life has just been, it's been a roller coaster since I've done the course, but in a good way. And I really just can't believe how much that it's sort of taken off and how much I'm enjoying it, which is like the main thing. So meet the amount of nice people I've met along the way. It's just been really, really heartwarming, and I've just absolutely loved it. So I just can't wait. And heading to the Bali retreat in less than 2 weeks now. I just can't believe it. So
next,
like YogaBellies has just offered me so much other stuff that I wouldn't have had before. So through my business, I've actually joined a network up here called Murray Businesswomen, and I've only been to one event so far, but straight away I've met loads of other like lovely ladies and networking with them, and just ideas for collaborations and stuff in future, and that's all really been through YogaBellies. So I'm really grateful for it all. It's opened up other doors as well, so it's super exciting.